Good afternoon, everybody. 1,025 ice baths in a row today. 1,025. Let's do this. We're going to get into plunge on a Friday. Hope you're having a good week. Getting ready for the weekend. I'm going to get in here. Been doing a lot of trainings lately for real estate agents, which I love doing. I love helping realtors grow their business. You know, one of the things Jim Rohn used to say is, you can outwork your lack of skill, right? You can make up in numbers what you lack in skill. Alex Hormozi says, volume negates luck. What they're both saying is, if you put the numbers together, you can win. Especially in today's world where people aren't as hardworking as they used to be. They easily are discouraged. They quit sooner. That's great if you're ambitious. That's great news for entrepreneurs who have ambition and want to grow something, because you can win. If somebody's really talented and they can get 9 out of 10 people to say yes to their product, I can only get 1 out of 10. Well, how can I win against that person? Well, I can outwork them. If they talk to 10 people and get 9, I'll talk to 100 people and get 10. I win. See, volume negates luck. You can make up in numbers what you lack in skill, and most people won't do it. Most people aren't willing to do it. It's like when you get into real estate, it's interesting. When I got back off the road, started selling a lot of real estate when I was off the road with Jim Rohn. People say, how did you sell so much real estate so fast? Well, I was making 80 to 120 cold calls a day. Every day for 4 years, guys. Every day. And averaging 15 presentations a week. I was doing 3 talks a day, 5 days a week. That's hustling. That's grinding. That is an astronomical amount. When you're a normal salesperson, specifically in the real estate world, they don't make 80 cold calls a week. They don't make 80 cold calls a month. I was doing that every single day. That's how you get a lot of volume. That's how you get lucky and you get things going in your favor. Right, putting the numbers together. So my team in 2011 was the number 77 team in the entire country. In the United States of America, we were ranked by the Wall Street Journal the number 77 top performing team in all of the country with 1.5 million realtors. That's pretty good. How do you do that? Well, you hustle, you make calls, you talk to people, you turn over every rock. Every single person you meet should know what your service is if you're serious about selling. And that's going to put off a lot of people. That's going to repel people. Of course it is. That's why people don't want to do it. They say, Rick, I want to be authentic. I hear this all the time as a coach. Rick, I just want to be authentic. I want to send people things that are authentic. I always counter that with, I want to do things that work. What if your authentic self isn't very good? You ever think of that? How about you think and find what works and then emulate that? Do what works. You know what works these days? Work. Outwork people. Alex Hormozi talked about, he puts out 450 to 500 pieces of content every week. People say they do social media. Oh yeah? How many social media posts have you made this week? 1, 2, 5? I'll bet you haven't made 450. And he does that every single week. And he's winning big time on social media. Yeah, because he's making up in numbers what he lacks in skill. And of course, his skills are really high too. That's an unbeatable combination. But people aren't willing to work hard these days because they just have instant gratification with all this stuff. And so we're conditioned to think, if it doesn't work right away, I'm not going to do it. I see realtors all the time. They hold 5 open houses, call 10 for sale by owners. Right? Send out 1 postcard mailing. And I say, Rick, none of this stuff works. It's like, yeah, well, the people that are doing it that work. I have a client here in Boise, Idaho that held 150 open houses last year. 150 open houses last year. That's averaging more than 3 per week. Every week. And that's not as much as what some people will do, but 150. How many did you do last year? People say, well, I mailed out. Well, how many mailers did you send? Well, I sent out 400 postcards. How often did you do it? Well, every month for a year. Well, 400 postcards. I have an agent I coach in Plano, Texas. He sends 18,000 postcards a month, every month. It's like, what are you doing? You've got to put the numbers together. Quit dabbling in 50 things. If you're in sales and an entrepreneur, you're probably dabbling in 50 things, and none of it is working. The interesting irony is all of it would work if you got good at any of them, or you put the numbers together. So start doing less things. I say this all the time, but do it better and do it at more volume, guys. Hear me out. Contact me if you want to talk more about this. I'd love to hear your thoughts, but I know this is the truth because I've lived it and I coach it every single day, guys. Put the numbers together. I'll see you tomorrow.